Angel Beats is a 13-episode Japanese anime television series produced by PA Works and Aniplex and directed by Seiji Kishi. The story was originally conceived by Jun Maeda, who also wrote the screenplay and composed the music with the group Anantgard Eyes, with original character design by Naga. Both Maeda and Naga are from the visual novel brand Key, who produced such titles as Kanon, Air, and Clannad. The anime aired in Japan between April and June 26, 2010 on CBC. An original video animation episode was released in December 2010, and second OVA was released in June 2015. The story takes place in the afterlife and focuses on Otonashi, boy who lost his memories of his life after dying. He is enrolled into the afterlife school and meets girl named Yuri who invites him to join the Afterlife Battlefront, an organization she leads which fights against the student council president Kanade Takabana, girl also known as Angel with supernatural powers. Key worked in collaboration with ASCII Media Works Dengeki GS magazine to produce the Project Into Media franchise. 4 manga series are serialized in Dengeki GS magazine and Dengeki GS comic, 2 illustrated by Haruka Kumurata and 2 drawn by Eriko Asami. Series of illustrated short stories written by Maeda and illustrated by Gotopi were also serialized in Dengeki GS magazine between the November 2009 and May 2010 issues. 2 internet radio shows were produced to promote Angel Beats. The first volume and 6-part episodic visual novel adaptation produced by Key was released for Windows on June 26, 2015. Angel Beats received generally positive reviews by critics. The integration of various individual elements together, such as musical performances, humor and action, was commended in one review but panned in another, saying that the story was overloaded with too many elements. PA Works was praised for the animation of the action sequences and attention to detail with the weapons used. Major flaw noted by critics, however, is that the anime is too short, which leaves many of the characters with untold backstories. The anime was selected as recommended work by the awards jury of the 14th Japan Media Arts Festival in 2010. Plot: Angel Beats is set in the environment of high school in the afterlife, type of limbo where people have experienced trauma or hardships in life and must overcome them before passing on and being reincarnated. The story follows Yuzuru Otonashi, boy with amnesia who ends up in the afterlife. He meets Yuri Nakamura, girl who invites him to join the Afterlife Battlefront, or SSS, an organization she founded and leads which rebels against an unseen god for their unfair circumstances in life. Their enemy is Angel, the student council president, who has supernatural powers and is believed to be God's associate. After joining the SSS, Otonashi meets other members, including Hideki Hinata, the co-founder, Masami Iwasawa, the lead vocalist of 4-girl rock band, Girls Dead Monster, and Yui, an underclassman and fan of GDM. Other than the SSS members, the afterlife is populated by fabricated students and teachers, whom Yuri refers to as non-player characters. Otonashi participates in several SSS operations and missions, despite still questioning the morality of their actions. During one of GDM's diversion concerts, Iwasawa passes on from the afterlife after achieving satisfaction through her music. After the SSS manages to demote Angel from her position, Otonashi partially regains his memories with the aid of Deputy President Ayato Nai's hypnosis. He later befriends Angel, whose real name is Kanade Takabana, and remembers the rest of his past while in her presence. Otonashi helps her make peace with the SSS and learns of the afterlife's true purpose. He subsequently offers to aid Kanade in helping other SSS members to pass on, and Kanade is reinstated as student council president in accordance with their plan. They are joined by Hinata and Nai, with the former helping Yui move on by fulfilling her desire of marriage. Mysterious shadow-like entities begin appearing, attacking the residents of the afterlife by turning them into NPCs. Otonashi reasons with the other SSS members and many of them agree to pass on in lieu of becoming an NPC. Yuri destroys the source of the shadows, which were created by computers programmed to activate when love was detected in the afterlife to prevent it from becoming paradise. Her affections for the members of the SSS allow her to finally overcome her regret, and by this time, the only other ones who have not passed on are Otonashi, Yuri, Kanade, Hinata and Nai. The 5 remaining students hold graduation ceremony before Nai, Yuri and Hinata pass on, leaving only Otonashi and Kanade. Otonashi confesses to Kanade that he has fallen in love with her and wants them to remain in the afterlife to help others move on. However, Kanade reveals that her regret was being unable to thank her heart's donor, Otonashi, for extending her life. Otonashi is heartbroken after she thanks him and passes on, leaving him alone in the afterlife. Later, 2 people resembling Otonashi and Kanade encounter each other on the street in the real world. In an alternate epilogue, Otonashi becomes the high school student council president and helps lost souls depart from the afterlife. Main characters: Yuzuru Otonashi, voiced by Hiroshi Kamiya. Blake Shepard. Due to his past, Otonashi has caring personality and does not want anyone to experience pain or sadness. After dying, he lost his memories of the time when he was still alive, but later regains them. He had younger sister, Hatsune, who died of cancer and whom he cared for very much. When she died, he decided to go to school to become doctor, but died in train accident before he could take the entrance exam to college. Initially unskilled in any equipment, he starts to practice his marksmanship, and pulls through for the team when they are in danger. He carries Glock 17. Yuri Nakamura, voiced by Harumi Sakurai. Brittany Karbovsky, English, Yuri, also known as Europe, has determined personality but is secretly very sensitive and protective. She invites Otonashi to join the SSS, an organization she founded and leads which fights against God. She is smart and decisive when making operations and decisions. She carries Silver Beretta 92. Not only is she skilled with gun, but she is also capable in close-range hand-to-hand combat, which is shown when she fends off Kanade's hand Sonic with combat knife. She vowed to fight against God after her 3 younger siblings were murdered by burglars looking for valuables and never forgave herself for failing to prevent their deaths. She is an effective leader, but does not think so. She regrets even fighting with Kanade later in the story, because she feels she could have been great friends with her. She disappears after the graduation ceremony. Kanade Takabana, voiced by Kana Hanazawa, Japanese. Emily Neves Kanade, initially known as Angel, is the student council president at the Afterlife School. This places her at odds with the SSS as her responsibilities require her to suppress delinquency and other disruptive activities that the team does. The SSS initially calls her Angel since they do not know her real name, but they still refer to her by it even after finding out her real name to be Kanade Takabana. It is difficult to understand what she is thinking due to her rarely showing any outward emotions and her way of talking bluntly. She is personally dedicated to helping others overcome their regrets and pass on. However, she often lacks proper understanding of others, as she never thinks to try to explain to the SSS why she was doing what she did. She enjoys eating mapo-tofu, spicy dish. Despite her gentle demeanor and small frame, she is incredibly powerful and near indestructible to the point of ejecting bullets out of her wounds during battle. She creates her powers known as guard skills via a computer program called Angel Player. Her primary ability is Hand Sonic, blade on one or both forearms with 5 forms. Other skills include but are not limited to Distortion, an invisible barrier that deflects bullets or other projectiles. Delay, which creates an afterimage to disorient opponents. And Harmonics, where a clone with consciousness of its own is formed from the original. These abilities are activated at will. However, her ability Overdrive, which gives her great physical strength, is always on. Hideki Hinata, voiced by Ryuhei Kimura. David Matranga Hinata is bright, dependable guy who is the closest to Otonashi. He always tries to save his friends if he can and is a reliable force in the team. He and Yui constantly irritate one another on a daily basis, but deep down, he cares for Yui, as shown when he helps her pass on by telling her he would marry her. He is a talented baseball player, and his regret in life was his failure to catch baseball, which cost his team an important baseball game. He nicknamed Yuri as Yurit when they co-founded the SSS, as he did not feel comfortable calling her Yuri, because his mother has the same name. He has shown romantic feelings towards Yuri in Track Zero, although he finds himself getting attracted to Yui much later in the series. He died from getting hit by truck. He uses an RPK-74 and an S&Amp W645. Ayato Nari, voiced by Megumi Ogata. Greg Ayres. Nari is human, originally thought to be non-player character, non-human. After he died, Nai developed hypnotic powers that allow him to control others and cause them to enter dream-like state. In life, he was the son of famous potter. However, it was his twin brother who had the talent in pottery, and as a result, Nari was ignored by everyone, including his own parents. When his brother died, he was made to replace him by his father and was given strict training in pottery, even getting scolded harshly if he messed up. As a result, he felt as if his own life was fake and all he wanted was to be acknowledged for his own existence. He later befriends Otonashi after he acknowledges him and joins the SSS. As acting student council president for time and self-proclaimed god, Nari is strict and arrogant, but this is quick to disperse when Otonashi chastises him. He is affectionate to Otonashi, much to the latter's chagrin, and always tries to earn his affection. He uses dual USP-45 handguns. Yui, voiced by Eri Kitamura. Hilary Hogg. Lisa Yui is big fan and initially an assistant to Girls Dead Monster. She is known to be hyperactive and talks extremely fast. Hinata finds Yui annoying, which results in bouts between the two of them, though in truth, they truly care about one another, saying that had they met before they died, they would have fallen in love with one another. She wears devil tail and shackle bracelets on her wrists, giving her an image of an imp or devil. She also has wings hidden by her hair on her back. After Iwasu's departure, Yui becomes the new rhythm guitarist and vocalist of Girls Dead Monster, as well as its leader. Yui plays Gibson SG Special electric guitar. She later becomes part of the main SSS, following them along on missions, though she does not contribute much. In life, she was hit by a car and was paralyzed from young age as a result. Her regret was not being able to do anything with her body. Otonashi helps fulfill most of her wishes that include many things she saw on TV when she was alive, although it is Hinata who fulfills her last desire to be married, by proposing to her. Supporting characters: Takamatsu, voiced by Takahiro Mizushima, Japanese. Carla Martinez. Guardiola. Takamatsu is an honor student who has polite personality and wears glasses. He mainly contributes to the SSS through intelligence gathering and other affairs, but does not actively fight. Yuri herself says to not be fooled by his glasses and that he is actually an idiot. Though appearing to be slender, he works out and is actually well-built muscle-wise. After he first reveals this, he tends to take his shirt off, much to everyone's discomfort. He is absorbed by Shadow and is turned into an NPC. However, having strong enough feelings, he is able to regain his senses and manages to disappear like the others. He carries Desert Eagle as sidearm, but is also seen using SIG 552. Noda, voiced by Shun Takagi, Japanese. Loraldo Anzaldo. Noda is a self-reliant young man who executes the strategies formed by the SSS and fights with halberd. He does not listen to anyone other than Yuri, for whom he has adoration, and is antagonistic to almost everyone else. He has one-sided rivalry with Otonashi. He is a complete idiot whose weakness is education. At one point, Takayama is able to knock him out by reciting pi. He is not afraid to harm or kill anyone who gets in Yuri's way. Though he prefers to fight with his halberd, He sometimes uses guns out of necessity, the type of weaponry that he hates. Sheena voiced by Fuko Sato. Melissa Davis Sheena is female ninja who fights with dual-wielding Kadaki and shuriken. She is able to sense when danger is coming and is highly capable fighter. Despite her serious demeanor, she has weakness for cute things like stuffed animals. She is strict in her training and is very self-critical when she fails, especially to newcomer like Otonashi. She decides that her weakness is having little concentration. She is shown balancing broom and other objects with her fingers for long amounts of time. She rarely speaks but will normally remark how shallow-minded or how foolish, this is so stupid in the English dub, whenever the obvious or something stupid is said. As she did not have name when she arrived in the afterlife, Yuri named her Sheena after her call sign, C7 Yusa voiced by Yui Makino. Serena Varghese, Elizabeth Bunch Yusa is an operator in the SSS who conveys the state of the battlefield to Yuri. She is calm and gentle-mannered girl with straightforward character. Much like Kanade, she does not express her emotions and is called scary by Otonashi and Hinata. She cannot calm down without her earphone. She rarely talks, and she sometimes hurts others' feelings even though she does not mean it. Fujimaki voiced by Yuki Masuda. Andrew Love Fujimaki is delinquent who fights with Long Shirasaya, and he is similar in character to Noda. He picks on Otonashi when he initially joins the SSS. He cannot swim. He uses PP-41 submachine gun. TK voiced by Michael Rivas. Adam Van Wagener TK is mysterious character who wears large bandana over his eyes and tends to break out and dance every so often. No one knows his real name or past. He speaks in semi-nonsensical English phrases depending on the situation, mainly quoted from pop culture, but apparently does not know English fluently. He saves the team many times and does know some Japanese but rarely speaks it. He carries Browning high power and LAR Grizzly handguns or Pages 19 Bison submachine gun during missions. His name TK, given to him by Noda, is an abbreviation of Tonakaku Kaidaru, lit. He comes somehow or other. Matsushita voiced by Eiichiro Tokumoto. Rob Mungle Matsushita, also known as Matsushita 5 Dan, Matsushita the 5th in the dub, has large build and is master at judo. He never forgets debt he owes, especially when it involves food. He carries heavy weapons such as rocket launchers or machine guns into battle. He later loses weight after training in the mountains. He uses HKP-7 and a mg 3 light machine gun. Oyama voiced by Yumiko Kobayashi. Kori Hartsugu Oyama is an ordinary boy who has no special talents. He does not excel at anything, but is as capable as any normal person. In other words, he is jack of all trades. He is an innocent boy whose feelings are hurt from things like making fake confession or watching his teammates die. He carries Remington 700 sniper rifle or P226 handgun. Takeyama voiced by Mitsuhiro Ishiki. Dylan Godwin Takeyama is an intelligent boy who is good at hacking computers. He wrote the briefing manager program that Yuri uses to brief the SSS prior to mission. He insists that he be addressed by his username Christ, but no one ever does so. He tries to execute all plans as perfectly as possible. He does not engage in combat or any other physical operations, but rather gathers data and information. Cha voiced by Hiroki Tochi. Illic Guardiola Cha is the leader of the guild. Despite looking much older, he is about the same age as Otonashi and the others. He is the fourth member to join.